Sissy, hi.
Hi, sister.
Well, I know that this is not your jam. Doing things that are in front of the camera, that are in the front of the house, is not your jam.
I'm a back of the house kind of girl.
Yes, you're a back of the house kind of girl, I know. But we are in a moment in which we are all being called to go outside of our comfort zones and show up. So can you, my beloved sister, introduce yourself? Tell everybody, and you can tell us your name. You have a name that is different than sister, right? So everybody, this is Sister.
Hello, everyone. I am Amanda. I am Glennon's sister. I am her right-hand woman since I was born, and also general counsel of Together Rising.
Yes. And so, Sissy, let's tell people what we're doing here today. Because I think in some ways that we've done a lot together, but this might be the most important thing we've ever done together. Can you also, I cannot believe that I'm saying this, because I don't think I've probably ever said this in the history of our lives together, but can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, wow. I was intentionally
trying to
scream the way I usually scream. Okay. Yes, I can do that. I'm so glad you asked. I'm glad anyone asked.
Speaking in normal, very high decibels.
So would you like me to project?
Project, yeah.
Okay, I will. There's so much to project upon the world.
I know you do.
So yes, we were talking the other day about everything as we do and everything that's going on in the world, and noting how, individually impacted we feel about the last 4 years, and processing, just continuing to suck down all of these traumas that feel like they keep happening to us, and also talking about how through Together Rising, the nonprofit you founded, and that is doing incredible work in the world, that the needs that we have seen over the last 4 years have been commensurate with that trauma that we feel on an individual basis. Like in the past 4 years, we've never seen, we've been doing this for 10 years, and the past 4 years have been incredibly excruciating for so many people. So, we have raised $8.6 million that we had to disperse throughout the world to, search the earth to find separated families and return people's children to them, to advocate for and free children who were detained in cages. We have, in the last few months, raised and deployed $868,000 in COVID relief, and that includes just basic protective equipment for our first responders, equipment for the Navajo Nation, which the administration completely neglected, for children who can't, the most vulnerable kids who can't continue their education without the equipment that they need, and just for hundreds of families who are having trouble keeping the lights on and putting food on their table because of furloughs and job losses. We've also just seen incredible pain and suffering in families, and especially hit LGBTQ people and youth, and Black and Brown populations across the country, of people who are just suffering. And so we were talking about how that Desmond Tutu quote that you always say, that you can only pull people out of the river for so long before you have to look upstream and see who's pushing them in. Which led to why we're here right now.
Yeah. So what we decided together, Sissy, is that while Together Rising over there will never stop fighting to pull people out of the river, what we are going to dedicate ourselves and this community and this platform to for the next 40 days and forever is to get the administration, the Trump administration, who has been pushing so many of us in the river out of office. So we've just decided that there's nothing more important that we can do with our voices, with our platform, with our privilege, with each other, with this incredible community that has shown up and done so many hard things in the past decade, than to get Trump and his administration out of the White House and get Biden and Harris in. And we understand that there are many deeply conflicted feelings about the Democratic ticket, and we honor that and understand that and have been listening to that. Where I have landed and where you and I have landed is that when your house is on fire, you do not wait for a perfect house to be built. You just get the hell out of the burning house. And so we have decided that the best thing that we can do is to, with this imperfect moment, is to get Biden and Harris in the White House, and then we will begin. Holding them accountable for change. So to that end, our sister commitment is this. We have been working very closely with the Biden campaign. We've also been working very closely with many other organizations who are committed to serving and saving our democracy. And we have together we have created a 40-day plan, okay? Because the election, in fact, starts now, okay? There's already early voting. So the election isn't in 40 days. The election is now. It starts now. We have 40 days to go inside the election. And so there is so much confusion out there, and that is purposeful. And so what we have decided is that if we lose this election, it won't be because bad guys won. It will be because confusion and apathy won. And we're not going to allow that, okay? So what we've decided is we're going to show up every single day on this platform, and we are going to offer something that we can do. And it will be something that doesn't take you individually more than 15 minutes. It will be a small thing. But as we've learned from Together Rising, if we all do our small thing together, we can actually affect change, okay? So we will be offering 3 different sorts of things. One set of things will be actions that we can do. We will be checking our registration. We'll be learning how to make a difference in swing states. We will be learning how to canvass virtually. The second group of things is we will be learning. Okay, we will be having conversations with our partners on the ground who see how this administration has affected the most vulnerable and who tell us what this election means. And the third section of things that we will be offering on this platform is ways to heal, which means we're going to have artists here, we're going to have musicians, we're going to have poets, we're going to have people who will remind us of what we are fighting for, right? Who will remind us of our shared humanity. So that when we get to the end of this 40 days, we will not only be better citizens, we will not have only be better informed, we will not only have done everything that we can do, but we will be a little more human and connected to each other. So 40 days, this is biblical, man. Getting back to my roots. 40 days out of the wasteland, okay, to this first glimmer of hope. Today is day 1. Sister, what are we doing today?
Today, and this is another thing that just happened, is that recently when I was struggling to fall asleep, as I am doing so many nights as of late, I realized that so many that I have, like these text threads on my phone of my friends with whom we have been for the past 4 years kind of processing our outrage and grief and fear about the decisions that are being made and how they will affect our children and how they're affecting our communities, how they're affecting our own mental health. Mm-hmm. And so much of, what we do is help each other through that and try to find, hope and kind of sister each other through those things, right? But I realized, oh my gosh, we've been doing that for 4 years, and I have yet to go on that same thread of which so much of the real estate is that trauma and outrage and say, okay, y'all, now what? Like, it's now. This is the moment. Like, this is the time where we make all of that into something. right? Like if we're just collecting heartbreak, we're just collecting and swallowing outrage, then we're the only ones paying the price. Like, but if we take that out, a fraction of that pain that we have felt, and channel it in an effective, smart way, and if we all do that, then we're doing something with it. Then we are using it, and I just was thinking, if we are not transferring outrage to action, then we are doing it wrong. We are not even following our own model of how everything has worked, which is, and I mean, the more that like you and I have conversations with people, it's like I always believed before that there was some like wizard behind the curtain, like making things happen, or someone at the top that if we got to them, they would have the answer. And the good news and the bad news is they don't. There's no cavalry coming to save us, right? Like it is, and always has been, and forever will be. Activism is just people activated. Right? And so it's like if this text thread of these 5 horrified women is not also committing to do 5 tangible, concrete things, then for what?
Right.
You know?
And we all have those. We all have those text chains. We all have those groups. Well, most of us do. As you know, I don't, because I don't text anyone back. But I have you. This is how this started, right? We have to process our action with those we've been processing our outrage. We all have those groups of women. Okay, so what did you do with those women?
So I just said, if I were to like find out some things for us to do, could we collectively commit to doing these together? Mm-hmm. Because I'm not sure what those things are yet, but I'm quite sure they're out there. And I'm quite sure that you are very capable, engaged, charged up people. So let's use that charge up, and not to be just spout our anger for each other, but do something with it. And I was a little nervous because everyone is very overwhelmed during this time, and no one has any more margin to spare during this time. But we don't have time not to do this.
And that's why we have to do it. You always say this is our self-care.
Right.
This is our self-care.
Yes. Fighting for yourself is the ultimate self-care. Right? You know, it's like when, yeah. So
and we're going to share that text, right? We're going to share that text you sent in case anybody needs the actual. But what are we asking people to do today?
So what we're asking people to do today is anyone in your life, okay, who has shared your pain and anguish and heartbreak over the things that have happened, the decisions this administration has made over the last 4 years, your horror at them. Anyone you have outraged with, we need you to gather them. Like this is a moment where we are not waiting on leaders anymore. Like we all need to collectively become leaders. Like this needs to be, so that's what it is. And I said, I will find out some things. I will bring them back. You tell me what you find out, but like we will gather our people. We will be leaders of them. And honestly, the gathering of the people, that's the big leading thing. And you know, it takes one person to say it. And everybody has great ideas and wants in. And it's an invitation during this time. People are so desperate to do something that someone just saying it, who's in, like that is a beautiful invitation. That's like opening the door to be able to their self-care, right?
That's right.
So what we want people to do is recognize themselves as being leaders in the community and not looking somewhere else for it. Like you are the ones, gather your people you've outraged with, agree to collectively commit to acting in accordance with that. Mm-hmm. And then because like everything that you have done, sister, has been just everybody doing their little part, right? So we have agreed, like you can go, you can get your people, and you could say, we are on it. Like I know what Arlington, Virginia needs right now. and like our group, we got it, we're gonna go, okay? Or you get your people together, you tag them here in the comments, you email them, you whatever. We are going to have 40 days starting today. First action is gather. For the next 39 days, we're going to have concrete, effective, smart fighting. You know, there's the concept. Let's fight smart. Let's use our time in an effective way. We're going to have those actions every day. So get your people together. It's like book club, but it's democracy club.
Right. It's Save Ourselves and Our Planet and Our People Club. That's right. That's right. So gather your people, lead them. We're not asking you to follow us. We are begging you to lead alongside us, to lead with us, right? So gather your people, go do the thing. Or if you're like me and need a little more hand-holding, through this very simple but purposely confused concept that's called democracy, stay with us. We promise to use every bit of our time and energy and the wisdom of our brilliant and varied partners to bring to you the best we can in terms of small actions, good information, and healing offerings here for the next 40 days. And I just say this, I'm going back to my early sobriety days in terms of the next 40 days. So I know that there is so much that I can't control. All right, I can't control corrupt politicians. I can't control outcome, but I'll tell you what I can control. I can control what I do with this next 40 days, right? I can look out every single day from my November 3rd self. And what I need to know on November 3rd is that I will be able to look at myself in the eye, that I will be able to look into the eyes of my children, and I will be able to know that I left it all on the field for this moment. So many of us after the 2016 election were so, I know we were a little bit pissed at ourselves that we didn't work harder, that we didn't do everything that we can do, and we're going to do everything we can do this time. That is what we can control. We're going to look out for our November 4th selves. And it's going to be hard. You know, it's hard. We are all busy. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to stay energized. And we have done and can do hard things. And so we'll do it like we've done everything else. We will do it one day at a time. We will do it the next right thing, one thing at a time, and we will do it together. And on November 4th, 3rd, we will be able to look ourselves in the eye, our children in the eye, our friends in the eye, and each other in the eye. And we'll celebrate that we left it all in the field. Are you in? Sissy, I want to be doing this work with anyone else on earth. I love you so much. Let us begin.
Thank you.